What's going on, people? In today's video we're going to discuss why it's incredibly important for you to learn and study sales, not just for your business but for your protection. And we're going to be referencing this book right here. Hey, so I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a backstory first, leading on to why you need to learn sales. And this backstory goes to my student days, when I did the GCSEs in here in England. You know, you do the GCSEs when you're 15, 16, and then you move into college and do the A levels between the ages of typically 17 and 18. And I did well in history during the GCSE years, and I picked history as one of my modules for A levels. So in A levels you typically pick 3 or 4 subjects. Some people do 5, but history was one of the subjects that I picked because I did really well with it. You know, I got an A in GCSE history. I was naturally good at it. I enjoyed it. I found it interesting, so I did it. I picked it for one of my A-level subjects. So the first day in college, the history lesson, the teacher went around the whole class and asked everybody to answer a question. You know, what was the most, or what has been the most historical day in your life? One of those questions which I absolutely hate. I don't know, because it's just one of them things that, you know, it could be anything, you know, especially when you put on the spot and when you had social anxiety like I did. So I think I made some sporting event up just to get past me. But the thing that got to me the most was the answer of the other students, and the main answer that came forward, the most popular answer, and it kept on getting repeated time and time again. And each time a person answered the question with this answer, the teacher explored the response more, and the more these people talked, the more agitated and frustrated I got, because what a lot of the people said as the most historical day in their life was 9/11, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that was a historical day for a lot of people for obvious reasons, but it was their reasoning and the venom, borderline racism, the essentially what I'm trying to get at is in GCSE English, this was the topic, this was the subject where they literally taught us about propaganda. They literally taught us that during World War One and World War Two, the media was used and designed specifically for propaganda. It was specifically designed to convince people that the war was good, that, you know, we were winning, you know, this and that, and, you know, basically deceive people into thinking a certain way, whereas the reality was something else. So the students sitting in the A-level history class were the same students that learned this, and now they were giving reasons about their thoughts and feelings based on something they saw on the news or something they saw on the TV. And I'm thinking, like, yo, you guys were specifically taught, you guys were specifically educated as to how the TV and media is a propaganda tool, yet now you're believing every single thing that you're hearing. You know, is this the talent of the next generation of intellectuals? And, you know, I was so disappointed with the horse shit that was coming out of people's mouths. And you know, I was so disappointed that I dropped the history class. I didn't want to be part of that group of morons. So I left that group and I went into psychology, which, looking back, that day probably has become the most historical day for me. Not just that experience, but what it resulted, and it resulted in me studying psychology. Now, at the time, I knew nothing about psychology. I never even heard of the word. And it's probably been the most eye-opening topic, subject for me in my life, which brings me on to today's topic. You see, Why you need to study sales is because sales is literally, as this book, this book a lot of people use and cite, as this book suggests, sales is influence, it's persuasion, and it's persuasion. Propaganda, influence, persuasion is all the same thing. Sales is literally persuading somebody to take an action, and propaganda is basically persuading somebody to believe something or take an action based on whatever you tell them to. And the interesting thing here is, the other key word here is psychology. So understanding psychology is key to understanding sales, it's key to understanding persuasion, and it's key to understanding propaganda. And this book right here is a very important book, because it gives you 6 or 7 principles about psychological tactics, or psychological insight into why people behave. And just to quickly run through them, the strategies mentioned here are reciprocation. So I do something for you, you're going to do something for me. Commitment and consistency. So you want people to commit. So on the street, especially with the charity workers on the street, what do they try to do? They try to get you to say yes. So the more times you say yes, those are micro commitments, and by making micro commitments, you're likely to make a bigger commitment later on. Social proof. So when you get a testimonial, that's social proof. So all the reviews, that's a form of social proof. So the more reviews you get, the more testimonials you get, the more you're basically getting proof that your product or service works by what other people are saying. And by as a consumer, by reading other people's reviews, I'm more likely to make a purchase or a decision on purchasing something. The next principle is liking. So the more somebody likes me, the more they're likely to buy from me. So that's why, especially in the online marketing world, there's this tactic where people in first world countries are trying to make out they've got third world problems in order to be liked. So they're making out that their troubles in life are so bad, and they were so bad that they've now turned their life around, and this could be you. So they're basically trying to say to people, if you're struggling, I was struggling too, you can turn it around, like me. And the biggest one that really drives me nuts is these idiots trying to make out that, oh, I had to go live with my parents. Like, living with your parents is a privilege, not a freaking travesty or a calamity event. But they're using that as a means to say, oh, I was so broke and miserable and homeless, I had to go live with my parents, and now I'm living in a big massive New York condo, and you could do the same. So that's their way of using liking to get sales. The next principle is authority. So obviously this, you are going to buy from an authority. The more authority a person is, or the bigger an authority a person is, the more you're going to listen to them, and the more you're going to be persuaded by them. So and the last one here is scarcity. Scarcity meaning if something's rare, you're going to more likely want it. And all of these principles, they're not positive or negative in and of themselves, but their application determines whether they're good or bad. Like scarcity, if you have an e-commerce store, or if you've come across, bought online, you'll see these timers. This offer is going to be on for the next 2 hours and 29 minutes, or only 7 left in stock. They're going to run out. So what they're basically trying to say here is, if you don't buy now or within this, by the time this clock runs out, you're going to miss out. If you don't buy now before the inventory or the stock runs out, you're going to miss out. And the problem with that is, I've set up a Shopify store before, and you can literally get apps which put on these fake timers and these fake inventory counters. So literally what I'm trying to say here is, people are using these tactics in a fake way to try and get you to take action, which is why I am saying to you, you don't really need to learn these. Well, you need to learn these principles of sales and persuasion and propaganda, because it's not only going to help you get better in your business, as long as you use these principles in an ethical manner, but it's also going to protect you, because when you make the connection between propaganda, influence, persuasion and psychology, literally psychology is the key word here, because it's the study of psychology, it's the study of human behavior, it's the study of how your mind works, how your emotions work, how your behavioral patterns work. It's the study of all those things which people are using as a means to sell to you. And one of the, if I was to give you a simple example, I've done this, a lot of people do this, one of the most common marketing techniques today is, I'm going to give you something for free if you give me your email address. So here's a free webinar, here's a free training, here's a free seminar, here's a free book, here's a free PDF, here's a free cheat sheet. I'm going to give you this free stuff with some value in it, and all you have to do is give me your email address. So you give your email address and you get the book in return. And that's obviously using the principle of reciprocation. I'm giving you something in return for your email address. And the purpose behind that is to get your email address so that you can then be sold to, marketed to. So the point of me trying to get your email address, so later on I can send you emails, give you more value and build my authority with you, so that you then buy from me. That's on the micro scale, but on the macro scale, I used to be a lot into conspiracy theories quite a long time ago, so I'm a lot more cynical than everybody else. But one of the, about 10-15 years ago, one of the conspiracy theories were that, we're going to be, our privacy is going to go out the window, all our information is going to be taken, and la-di-da-di-da, RFID chips or whatever, and at the time I was thinking, there's absolutely no way anybody is going to give up all of their information to the government or to whoever else. How wrong I was, because this right here, this has caused people to give every single detail of their life freely, with consent, because this right here, this was designed to make your life easier, not as the ultimate purpose, but as the value purpose. So this is designed to make your life easier, to help you connect with your family, friends, to keep your whole life on track, in exchange for your data. What do people use this for? Well, with this device, you know what time I wake up, you know what time I go to sleep, you know what time I eat, you know the type of food I eat, when I go to the gym, what type of exercise I'm doing, you know what I'm feeling right now, what my emotional response is. And where's all that data going? It's going somewhere. It's not just staying on your phone. It's going somewhere on a social media platform, or whatever, Facebook platform or any other platform. And then people are using that data and those patterns to market to you, to sell to you, because one of the key strategies in selling is to use emotion. So they say, don't sell logically, sell emotionally, sell to people's emotions, because the more emotional response you get, the more you're likely to get a sale, because people buy with emotions, not logic. So I could logically explain to you why something is beneficial for you, but it's only going to take you so far. But if I was to demonstrate to you emotionally why you need this product, you're more likely to go out and take action. Anyway guys, I hope this video was useful. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know, let me hear from you, and I will speak to you guys another time. Take care now, bye bye.